Good afternoon, good evening. My name's Ellen Remmer, and I am delighted to welcome you to this information session about leading an Invest for Better circle. I'm joined here by my colleague and program director, Jasmine Tanguay, who many of you may already have interacted with if you've been in a circle before or you made an inquiry, but you'll hear more from Jasmine later on. We love doing these sessions, the information sessions about leading an Invest for Better circle, because this is really what our mission's about spreading the word, about the power and possibility of investing with your values, helping you get going and helping other women become champions in the movement. So we've got a presentation, which is, as you know, is being recorded, so you can watch it again later too. We encourage you to pose questions in the chat as we go. We will probably pause occasionally to answer some of those questions as they're points of clarification, but we're going to allow lots of time for questions at the end. And I'm going to start with a little bit of the big picture, share some videos of others' past experience. Jasmine's going to dive deeper into the what and how and the nuts and bolts of what it means to be a circle. But before we get going, we know some of you here, but maybe we can get a sense in the chat, just if you haven't said it already, kind of who's been in a circle already, either as a member or a leader. And I will say, for those who have been part of a circle before, we may we might invite you to share some of your experience throughout. There's nothing like hearing it from people who are alive and still interested. So with that, let's get going. So for those who don't know, Invest for Better is a 501c3 nonprofit. It was formed by myself and Janine Firpo just a year or two ago. And it was based actually on a project, an initiative that I had started at the Philanthropic Initiative with a group of amazing leaders. And then Janine and I came together after Janine wrote her amazing book, which we'll talk about, or even before she wrote that book. And we decided to spin this off together and bring it out into the world and scale it. Our mission is to empower women to understand the power of their investments, learn how to align them with their values, and activate them for a more just and sustainable world. And the way we work is providing our core experience is this Invest for Better circle experience. So we do that. We provide circle leader training because we rely on amazing women like you all who are willing to donate their time and energy and commitment to do this. So we try to make this as good an experience as possible for you. We also offer a whole membership, 1-year membership model, which we hope people find valuable enough to continue, which includes the Invest for Better circle experience and many, many other opportunities, which we'll talk about later, for more robust and more advanced education about values-aligned investing. So we're going to just share this video. It's actually on our website, but again, for those who don't know us that well, I think it gives a big picture view of why we're doing what we're doing.
Money is power. So you work hard to get it and you work hard to keep it. You're doing well, but you also want to do good. For you, it's not just about wealth creation. It's also about being in alignment with your values. But investing your money and making decisions about where to move it can feel overwhelming. Where do you start? How do I know what I'm invested in? What if I'm funding things I don't agree with, like fossil fuels, prisons, tobacco, weapons? How do I move those funds and to where? What if I make a mistake? The current financial system was built by men for men. And while most men learn from other men how to use the system to their advantage, a lot of women don't have those conversations. You feel like you don't know enough to take action with your money, and you don't have time to figure it out on your own. Women are more likely than men to give to charity as their income rises, but we don't trust ourselves as investors. It feels like the financial system doesn't speak to us. You're frustrated with what feels like a flawed financial system. You realize that you're not in control of your own money. What if we told you there's a better way? At Invest for Better, we are leading a movement to build a better system that aligns with our values. We're doing this by educating women on a different approach to investing. It's not about giving money away, and it's not about profit at all costs. Values-aligned investing is about investing in what matters to you and getting great returns along the way. Things like sustainable food and agriculture, supporting female small business owners, or clean energy. We can help you do this. Invest for Better is a values-aligned money academy with peer-led investing circles and a trusted community built by women for women. We are a movement that is reimagining investing. We've created a values-aligned investing curriculum that demystifies the financial system. Our peer-led investing circles help you learn how to use your investments as a force for meaningful change. And more than anything, we are a trusted community of women who encourage each other to take action and have fun along the way. Unlike guides you've had in the past, an advisor who talked down to you, a book that told you to just save more than you spend, we're not interested in perpetuating the status quo. We're here to help you step into your power. Join the ranks of all the fierce women who are courageous enough to do things differently. Join the women who are leading the way with Invest for Better.
Wonderful. So it always gets me excited when I listen to that and just reading all your notes about why you're here today. So let me tell you, for those who don't know, and it looks like at least half of you are pretty familiar with the circles, but the Invest for Better circles, which is really the approach that we've found works so well with women who have just been meaning to establish the time and discipline and support and trust to really take charge of their money and invest it with their values, that we've developed over the last several years is circles of anywhere from 8 to 20 women. I mean, typically I'd say more like 8 to 15 women who over a 6-month period, they meet monthly, some in person or in Zoom or in hybrid, and go through it's a fairly, it's both a structured curriculum as well as quite open in terms of helping you address wherever you are. But it's a process to help you clarify your goals. What is it that you want to get out of this? What do you care about doing with your money? Learn more about how to do it, and then get advice and share investment ideas and really become a trusted peer community. So that's the 6-month core circle, and this is what we're hoping many of you will decide to lead or co-lead a circle. That this one will be starting in October. Will be our 7th cohort of Invest for Better circles. We also, and I noticed 1 or 2 of you have done some deep dives. Just something to know, you can do in parallel or after the core circle. We have these deep dive courses, which go into a particular asset class or an investment lens like gender, environment, or some other subject. And then most women, as we say, start with the core circle, but some begin with the deep dive. Especially there's a financial basics deep dive. So that can sometimes be a place where people start. And those are led by, again, volunteers, in this case, experts. Next. All right. Permit us a couple more quick videos on the experience from members.
Invest for Better circles are doing is I just believe this is capturing kind of a movement, a feeling across the country that I'm noticing, and I'm sure many of you are. That's why we're all here today, that women are just like ready to be empowered about their money in ways that we never have, that we historically have not been. Just say if there's any ounce of you that's a little bit nervous or feeling, what have I gotten myself into? I felt that way, and now I'm like, oh, that was not an issue. This is a community. We're all here together, learning together. You don't have to know all the things. We're all, and it's just great that you're doing this, and let's get more of these circles happening all across the country.
I joined an Invest for Better circle to meet and collaborate with other women to move the needle on racial justice investing in particular. The circle led me to recruit other women with influence into deeper impact investing, and I've got a list of action steps to further align money with values, both in my own portfolio, but also with the organizations I'm involved with, like my denomination's endowment and a local foundation. Join the circle and spread the word. It's an awesome experience.
A couple years ago, I started an Invest for Better circle so that I could learn alongside other women in my community about how to shift our money to align with our values. And I'm so glad I did. Not only have I made personal changes in where my money is invested, but I've also been able to learn alongside others. And we've built an amazing network of women who are learning and growing and making change. I'm so thrilled to be part of the Invest for Better network, and I hope you'll join too.
Perfect level for our members to be having these conversations. Some of the feedback we've gotten from them is that, not ready to really create my, official plan just yet, but I feel so much more empowered. I feel so much more fluent. I have increased awareness. Now when I see a news article about impact investing, I feel a part of the conversation, and just feeling more ready to have those conversations in their households and establish a plan.
Really enjoyed was really diving into how you personally view money. I actually took some of this learning and over the weekend worked with my own family to figure out some of our own financial archetypes and different things like that, and it brought up some really, really interesting discussions that I think will really help our family personally.
This is such a great way for me to continue to grow my own understanding of this and really be able to figure out what kind of actions I want to take. The greatest space for everybody could just bring whatever you're bringing to the table and let's learn together. And that's really what it is. It's about, let's just learn together and find out about this stuff. It was also a really great way for us to continue to build a network beyond ourselves into these other, incredibly smart, intelligent, funny, wonderful women that are doing some really amazing work.
And I see we have one of our presenters here on the call today. So thank you, Vanessa, for sharing your story in that video. So as I mentioned, we're about to start our 7th cohort. So should you join, we've had 6 cohorts of circles. So when a cohort happens, it's anywhere from, from 10 to 20 circles are happening at the same time. So we're excited to have done over 100 circles, probably 110. Over 150 people have signed up to be circle leaders, and we've connected with over 1,000 circle members in the time that we've been doing this. Really the last 2 years together with Janine and me, and then it was for a year and a half before that. And we've just been pulling all the data together about really what the impact has been. Our ultimate goal is to really help women move money, take action. For some people during the 6-month, taking action is going to be more preparatory, and then they're ready to maybe through the deep dive or some other approach actually start to move money. But, not 90%, as it says here, have taken some concrete steps in the course of the circle experiences. Some of these listed are here, whether they've talked about impact investing with others or strengthened their network or actually shifted investments into values aligned impact investing. About 50% we found in those first 6 months have actually moved their money. We're trying to get a handle on it within a year, because we do believe that a lot of people within that first year, they're ready and they may go to a financial advisor after this period. And delighted that the over 90% have recommended involvement of the circle experience to others. Next. So when Janine and I came together, as I mentioned, Janine has written this phenomenal book, which you get for free as a circle leader. You get everything for free because we're so grateful to you. But it's a fabulous book, and we actually in this last year and a half have restructured a curriculum for any of you who were involved earlier on to correspond with the book. So I think this is something that's going to be very important. And it's, people, for those who want to do it yourself, they also have the book that they can do on their own. But I think it makes it really helpful, this along with a whole lot of other resources that Jasmine will be talking about to you later. But to give you a sense of the overall content, we got sort of the introduction, your money stories and values, how you come up with investing principles, then going through asset class by asset class. How do you think about doing values aligned investing, whether it's with your stocks or bonds or private investments? And then the kinds of supports that you can, you might work on your team or your circle of support as you think about implementing it. Next. And we continue to work on strengthening the curriculum. So again, for those who've been involved in the past, this may be a little bit different. I am running a circle right now, which has really been awesome because I had not run a circle since like before we came together with Janine. So it's been really great to experience the curriculum. But these are the topics. We begin with your money stories and connecting with each other and connecting with in your heart about what money means to you and what you want it to mean to you. There was that mention of archetypes that comes up. We start in section 2, talking a little bit about your goals, your risk profile, what you're trying to achieve, financially, emotionally, socially. And 3, we start getting a sense of the whole asset allocation and what a portfolio is, how you think about putting that all together. Again, incorporating your goals and your risks and rewards. And then in 4 and 5, we go to, these are the different ways that you can invest in these asset classes. So public markets, stocks and bonds, and cash. We use that in section 4 or 5 as angel, venture, alternatives, real estate, crowdfunding, all of those kinds of things. That's my circle's going to be doing that one next week. And then in the final one, there's again, how do you get your supports to take your next steps, including if you choose a financial advisor, how do you choose the right one? So now on to what it is to be a circle leader, which Jasmine's going to do most of this. I'm just going to do this first slide, which is what we've seen, why people lead a circle. And I know why I co-led a circle in the first place and still do it, is that you always learn more when you do it yourself, when you lead. So if no matter how much you know, if you're really committed to deepening your own investing knowledge, there's nothing like leading the circle, because to make sure, hold yourself accountable and to make sure you really understand the material. So for those who are beginning or those who are deepening there, leading a circle, because you now have, you build relationships with the people that are in your group, whether you choose to have a co-leader or all those in your circle, and that can become a network. The original Invest for Better circle that Amy Brakeman and I started 4 or 5 years ago, we're still sharing investment ideas amongst each other. Just took a walk with one of them yesterday. It's a place to develop and practice leadership skills, and we've been working hard to add some really exciting content. We had webinars, this past cohort. We're going to probably try to curate those a little more this next time to develop more of your leadership skills about building community, being mindful, being inclusive, things like that. And people lead it because they want to be champions, and they believe, like we do, that if we get more women sitting at the investment table, more women investing with their values, we're gonna transform our capital market structure. We need to get women there who have not been there before.
Great. Thanks so much, Ellen. And in addition to all of these really transformative personal growth and social change benefits that Ellen just described, we also offer some perks that we offer leaders to really enrich your experience with us. And from a practical standpoint, that's a full year of membership to Invest for Better, which is access to all of our offerings, including the deep dive courses Ellen mentioned, Janine's book, other resources on our website, and some special leadership development content we've been collecting from experts and former circle leaders. And of course, you're wondering exactly what the role entails. And so now we'll go over that in a little bit more detail. So as a leader, I think another word for the role might be convener. You're really bringing the group together to make this collective experience happen, to kind of hold the space for the conversations and connections that are going to be happening over the 6-month journey and possibly beyond that. And so from a practical standpoint, there's inviting women to join your circle. And we'll tell you more about how we'll help you with that, and we will. There's orienting them, and we provide lots of resources directly to them, but you'll be making sure that they stay on track and just sort of understand what's going on and are connected to you as a leader in the circle as a whole. You'll be in the lead for scheduling the monthly meetings on Zoom or in person, or in cases like Ellen's most recent circle, kind of a mix of in person and online. So you have a choice of all of those. And we can even lend you a Zoom account if you need it. But the central point is that you pick times that are convenient for you. We try to keep the circles on a similar schedule so that you can sort of be, as leaders, supporting each other through the content over the 6 months, but the leaders choose when exactly those meetings happen, and there's some flexibility there about exactly when they take place. We do recommend that you choose early on and tell your prospective members when you're planning to meet so that they can choose a different circle if that time frame doesn't work for them. Facilitation of the sessions is something that's also central to this, but we really provide a framework and discussion questions, everything you need for that role as facilitator. And the design also really relies on breakout groups, which are self-facilitated. So you'll generally be doing kind of the beginning and end of the meeting, and then you'll have small groups that sort of do their own thing in the kind of central, in the middle of the meeting. And then we have these monthly leader check-ins, and so participating in those when you're available, we always record them. And then we just ask that you really share feedback with us throughout this process because it's so valuable in helping us evolve it as we go. And we're here for you every step of the way. And the way that we try to do that is by offering these monthly check-ins, as I just mentioned, and this time we're going to probably be offering a choice of time so leaders can gather at a time that's most convenient to them. We offer personalized support from Invest for Better staff over Mighty Networks chat, email, phone, whatever you need. We're here to help you with whatever's going on. We've got a private leader group in Mighty Networks, which I'll explain in a moment, but an opportunity to connect with other leaders and share ideas and so forth. And then we can help you match with a co-leader if you want to do that, or with a mentor. We've got former leaders who are interested in staying involved, who would love to just be a resource for you. So if that's interesting, we can match you up early on in the process. And then I mentioned that we'll help with recruitment as well. And we've got things like a sample invitation that you can use as a template to invite folks in your network. All sorts of other materials, social media templates, and things that'll help you spread the word. We also are going to do a prospective member info session, sort of an analog to this for people who are thinking of joining a circle as members. And that'll provide them with lots of information so that you don't have to necessarily convey all that yourself to them. And then finally, we get a lot of people who come to us who are interested in joining a circle and becoming members, who are looking for a circle to join. And so if you're interested in it, we'll send you those people, and you can add them to your circle if you find that it's a good fit. You always have control over who's in your circle, but some people prefer to have people they know. Some people prefer to have people they don't know. So whatever you prefer, you can constitute your circle that way, and we'll help you make that happen. So when women join, whether they're invited by a leader or find us on their own, they get access to all of our offerings for a year. And that includes participation in this core curriculum, Invest for Better Circle, the book, a hardcover copy if they're within the US, an electronic copy if they're overseas, access to the Mighty Network content and community. I'll describe it in a little more detail soon. We've got these monthly events for the entire Invest for Better community, a few different types. We've got what we call an activation series, folks who come in and present on how to take action on any kind of related topic. And we've got Ask the Expert, where it's really ask them anything. Often there's a theme, but financial professionals come in and serve as a resource to our members for whatever questions you may have. And then we have a new series about investment products, so you can learn about specific investing opportunities that you might be interested in. So about 3 per month, every month, open to all of our members, and that's part of what your circle members would have access to when they join. We also have these deep dive courses Ellen mentioned. They're 3 months long. Generally after you finish your core curriculum circle, people add on a couple of those. We actually have, I think, like 2.5 years worth of content if you want to take them all. So there's lots of choice there and a lot of great material. And they're kind of in the circle model as well. And then finally, we've got discounts and free access to services and events. For example, we've got a partner called Values Advisor, where you can get information and access to financial advisors who have been pre-screened to be and want to serve clients who want to align their investments with their values. And then in terms of what we expect from participants, what we ask is that they make a donation. In order to join, they're asked to make a donation. They can either pay sort of our minimum, which is $125 for 12 months, or if they choose, we've got a sliding scale based on assets owned or assets influenced. And so they can choose what they want to contribute there beyond that minimum. And then in terms of participation with the circle, we just really ask that they make a commitment to come to the meetings each month, as many as they can. It really helps to kind of build the cohesion among the circle. And it's about an hour of self-study each month, going through the materials that we share in the curriculum. Often it's reading a chapter of Janine's book and watching a video or working on a worksheet. And then the meetings themselves each month are about 90 minutes. The personal money objective is something that we just ask participants just to reflect on. Was it reasonable, realistic action step that they might want to be working toward over the course of the 6 months? And then we ask that folks honor the group's ground rules, and that's something that you'll decide at the beginning as a circle. And we've added a new component, which has been really, really effective, which is accountability trios and pairs. And so 2 or 3 women get together in between the regular monthly full circle meetings and check in and just, have buddies to kind of work on the homework together, or, just kind of stay on track with. And people really have liked that. So how do you and your members access all of these offerings? It's primarily through our membership portal, and we use a platform called Mighty Networks, and that's where you're going to be able to access all of the curriculum materials in addition to the book itself, all of these events that I've mentioned, a community conversation hub where women are asking questions on all different sorts of topics, and we have special spaces for different kinds of conversations. But you'll have a private group for your circle, so where you can continue your conversations from your monthly meetings as a small group. And that's and the platform is also where you can access additional member benefits and other supplemental content, including archived videos from all of our previous presentations and events. And it's just really, it's always growing, and there's tremendous amount available for leaders and members to access. And so I think next we've got a couple more kind of 1-minute leader testimonials from leaders in more recent cohorts. So I wanted to just show those quickly, and then we'll just talk about some next steps, how you would move forward from here.
So what brought me to lead was I was first a participant in a circle, and I really got so much out of it. I learned so much, even though I do work in investments. There was so much knowledge out there that I was able to garner from the women in my circle. And I love the collaborative aspect of Invest for Better, and I just wanted to share it forward and teach other women what I was learning about. So that's really how I got involved as a leader, and I continue to learn as a leader from my circle. So I think it's a circle that keeps rolling forward, if you will.
Great. And then this is another member who's led a circle and also stayed really involved.
Where else can you have these kind of conversations that are so frank and so from the heart, and really explore these things together, because it takes a lot of work. So I've loved being a part of it, and I can tell you that the activation, the series Ask the Expert, have been phenomenal. To have this kind of access to this level of experts and thought leaders is, I know of no other place where we can do this. So I'm a huge believer.
Right.
Where else can
And I did see a question in the chat as I was just reviewing about whether you can lead a circle or want to lead a circle if you've never been a member. And absolutely, the answer is yes. I'd say the majority of our leaders have never been a member in a circle before. And you'll go on the learning journey with your members, but there's really no reason why you need to have gone through the content previously or had financial training of any kind. That can be valuable, but it's certainly not a requirement. And so you'll get that experience alongside your members. It's not something you need to have gone through before. A lot of members do feel inspired to lead after they've gone through the experience, and that's wonderful, but it's certainly not required. So if you decide that this is something that you'd like to do, we do have a short leader registration form, which is really an expression of interest. There's no kind of firm commitment at this stage, but it helps us get to know that you're interested and that you're likely to be doing this. If you're interested in finding a co-leader, we will follow up with you and provide another form which is focused on matching you with a co-leader who's really compatible. And so we'll send you a link for that. And then there'll just be some follow-up emails, mostly when you decide that you're ready to commit, there's a form which sort of formalizes the relationship and then allows us to send you your book and give you access to the membership platform. And at that stage, you'll be preparing for our August 23rd training, which will cover some of the same content as today, but start to give you exposure to what an actual circle meeting would be like. And so we'll go through an actual demonstration of that. And in the part 2 in September, we'll have some expert guests who come and enrich that training experience as well. And so in the meantime, thinking about women who you'd like to invite to your circle, or letting us know that you're going to want to be a resource for women who are looking to find a circle. It's a great way to start at this stage.